I wanted to share with you today what forest whispering actually is, and then give you an invitation because tonight is my forest whispering class here on my property. So, yesterday, for the first time, I showed some of my self and some of what I've been working on healing, and I've shared over the last couple of days some deeper and deeper truths of mine. And people have been asking questions along the way, and my brain is healing and coming to a place where it's able to access all of these things because my childhood trauma was keeping me in fight or flight. So I couldn't actually access this space in my brain where I can feel this pure autistic joy and I can truly be in my body and feel it for the first time in my life. And what I thought I was feeling before was magic, and I can't even tell you now that I can actually feel things in my body. Even breathing feels like more powerful. And you're like, hey, Emma, you're a stoner that lives in the woods of Canada. Of course, you feel the planet's breath. Of course, you feel. Well, yeah, of course. There's planes going over. Justin Bieber's home, I believe, with his baby, and he lives just north of here. Like I could just walk 10 minutes that way. So there tends to always be a lot of lower flybys when he's home. So yesterday I was sharing some of my truths, and I showed myself rattling for the first time with my healing stick. And I haven't even really shared what I've received through the medicine that I've been getting. And this is one of the things that, I really didn't understand until I stepped into my true magic. And I understood what people were talking about when, they say you can't buy your own tools. It's not that you can't buy them, you can buy them. But ultimately, you're not going to want any of them because way cooler tools show up in the way of gifts. This, my friends, is a Indigenous healing stick from Six Nations here in Ontario, and I still don't understand and I want to give it back. But this sits right on my sternum when I stand and when I heal, and it activates things in me that I've never experienced. And this was given to me by a very good friend of mine who was gifted this by an Indigenous healer who said, you'll know what to do with this. And last December 21st, on solstice, when I was ready to do my overnight vigil and really accept my magic and accept the path that I'm on, I thought I had a staff that I was going to do that with. And I was ready and prepared. And that morning I was telling somebody in a healing session, I'm ready. I have my staff. I have all my things. And then I get a phone call from this friend of mine, and she says, I have something to give you and I need to give it to you today. I don't know why. I'm just coming to give it to you. Are you available? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay, I'm coming right now. I was like pretty much finishing up a session. And I had just finished telling the story of how I was going to do my overnight vigil. And my friend shows up with this on the day that I'm gonna do my overnight vigil, a healing stick from Six Nations. And that night, when I sat with my medicine and with my healing stick and with my wand that my brother had given me so long ago when I was 16, when I sat with those, with my medicine in front of the fire on the 21st of December, and the coyotes came and they circled my tent and they called, that's when I knew forest whispering was in my blood and in my bones. Hey, Mike. So from that day forward, I have been only listening to the trees. I have only been listening to my medicine. I have only been listening to Indigenous truths and Indigenous healers. If you want to learn more about North American Indigenous truths, you can grab Asha Frost's book. She's who I've been taking to the forest with me. She's a friend of mine, and her wisdom in this book, every single time I open it, I use it like an oracle. So when I'm down there, they talk about, this is kind of funny. I opened it to animal allies, and I'm talking about the coyotes because we're going to talk about this today. So that night, the coyotes became an ally of mine. And I have been tracking the coyotes on my property for 24 years because we have this kind of different way of living with our forest. We allow the forest to lead us. We don't just tell the forest what it needs to do. We go, hey, what do you need? And we've always worked that way here. So I know the coyotes well here on this property, and I know how they move, and I know how they track, and I know what they've been up to. And they're getting stronger. And they're now using the local train tracks to go into the cities at night and get more food, and they're becoming healthier and stronger. And the pack of coyotes that lives on my property, and it's right, the den, the coyote den, is on half on my property and half on the gun club's property. And I know there's healing to be done there. And I know that coyotes are the trickster, and coyotes live on the edge of the city between two worlds. They live in the liminal space, right? They travel the train tracks to get from the city to the country, to where their home is. And we have to use modern ways to get these messages out. I'm here using modern ways to help share ancient messages. Hey, from Victoria, Australia, thanks for joining. Your Indigenous peoples in Australia have the same wisdoms, have the same stories, have the same truths. And if you're living on that land, I will tell you, the way to heal the quickest is to find an Indigenous way of healing. And in the truth of the land, learn the stories. That's not true. The coyotes will not savagely attack me. Oh boy, that's amazing. That's a lot of fear there. What was your name? That's a lot of fear, Mr. Josh Thompson. That's a lot of fear. I'm sad for you that you have that much fear in your body, that you're afraid of coyotes. I have a relationship with the coyotes. So today, what I was going to tell you about the coyotes, this is where I'm getting to. Because I'm a storyteller. My ancient tradition is oratory stories. Surprising that I need, my auntie is Aboriginal, my cousin, okay. Oh, hey, Stumpy, sorry, I thought you were Josh. I was like, aunties are the best thing in the whole entire world. I'm a huge believer in that anybody can, you know what? You can see my feet all, oh, the crows are coming. You can see my feet all over the internet. Google the barefoot medium. I'm not, okay, so I'm not indigenous to Canada. I'm indigenous to the UK. I was born there and I came here when I was little wee tiny. And I follow indigenous teachings of my friends and of elders. And I will show you, too bad, armed temper tantrum. You really are going to have a temper tantrum. So I use my abilities as a I know I'm a white Australian. That's totally fine, Stumpy. Listen, you can still use indigenous messages and indigenous healing messages to heal yourself. So here's the thing. Asha wouldn't have written this book if she didn't want you to have these messages, correct? There are indigenous elders on you're an indigenous person, Josh Thompson. Okay, amazing. Here's the thing. We are all indigenous to a land. We are all indigenous to a land. Find the medicine of your land. So I was trying to heal in my Norse pagan traditions on this land, right? I was trying to be something that the land didn't want me to be. When you're healing with the land is what I am here. Like when I heal with the land, I'm literally working with the indigenous energy of this land. So I need to know what the medicine of this land is. So yes, I bring in my own medicines. So I bring in plant medicine. I am a healer in the Saxon tradition. And Saxon is Norse and Celtic kind of put together and melded. And where my ancestors are from, the Norse pagans and the Celts live side by side. And then some of those truths were brought together, and that created Saxon faith healing. I am a Saxon faith healer healing in Canada on Indigenous land in Indigenous ways. And the tools, this is an Indigenous healing tool that was gifted to me, and I need to give it back. Well, temper tantrum, you're the one that's coming onto my feed. No, you don't need to do drugs. Are we talking about tea? I don't even know what you're talking. I love, it's actually kind of like a blanket. I use it when I'm in the woods. I'm actually not telling you to use anybody's medicine. I'm telling you to use your own medicine. And that's what Asha talks about in this book. You are the medicine. Your body tells you what you need. What you need to start doing. So arm temper tantrum. Do you know why you like feet? I can tell you why you like feet. I can tell you why you seek out to be shamed on YouTube. Because you're wounded. You're traumatized in some way. And if you actually go to the root of your fetishes, your hyper focuses, your obsessions, those are the things that we use to soothe ourselves. So I was using witchcraft and ritual and meditation to soothe myself because I didn't know how else to do it, because nobody taught me how to soothe myself as a divergent individual, because nobody knew I had autism, nobody knew I had ADHD, So my whole entire life, I was trying to soothe myself in a way that neurotypicals soothe themselves. Well, that doesn't work for me. I need to be in the woods. I need to be out in nature to heal. I need the land to heal. That's the way I heal. Hi. Do I look like a pineapple under the sea? I'm not SpongeBob, but welcome. You're obviously here because you need to heal. I get a lot of, she's preaching, what's NGL? I don't know that one. What's that NGL? Tell me what that is so I know. And this is the other thing. You can't really offend somebody who's autistic. She's preaching, not gonna lie. Is that a good thing? She be healing us with the feet pics. Hey, if that's what heals you, man, go for it. But I'm not gonna give you mine because it's just not my jam. Like, I don't get off on that. So why would I put that out in the world, right? Oh no, I know you're not trying to offend me. And I'm just saying, like, I'll just ask the questions. Most people would get offended by that, but that's what I'm really realizing is my autism is kind of like this like awesome thing because I can see past what you're saying. Wait, you just said I could Google your feet. Which one is it? You can do whatever the frig you want. I don't have any control over you. You have control over you. You're on my feed, dude. Why are you asking me? Like, I'm just here to spread the word of nature can heal you. So if you actually want to know why you're obsessed with feet, and you actually want to live a life where people don't go, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? And you actually can live a life without, you know, going around asking people for feet pictures on the internet all the time because you're traumatized. I can help you heal that. No, I actually thought, I actually was, because I don't, and actually because my memory is so short, I've forgotten what NGL. Because that's my short-term memory. I don't have any, look, I'll put some lipstick on for you. Actually, it's chapstick that has a little bit of gloss in it. It's Burt's Bees. It's my favorite. Ooh, I should put this on. I'm going to put this on my wish list because this, I've been using this since I was a teenager. It's like literally my favorite, like little chapstick slash lipstick thing, because you're never going to get me to put lipstick on. It's just never going to happen. But I'll put on a chapstick that makes my lips look pretty because that's functional. So what I'm saying is you are your own medicine. And today, when I was called to the woods by the coyotes, and this is what, put it on your chest, pop it on, okay, yeah, no, it's not gonna work for me. When I was called to the woods by the coyotes because they actually killed some, I heard the coyotes kill something this morning. And I thought, well, I think they're hunting something else. And if I go sit out in that woods and that something else, it's a dog, if that something else finds me and it can find my calm energy, then it'll be safe. Or I can push it out the other side of the forest and it'll be safe. Well, you can donate to me anytime. Like, send me some love, subscribe to my channel, all the things. Would it be hot if it... You guys are hilarious. Is this all you guys do all day? It's quite amusing to me. Like, I really understand why I'm attracting you. Like, I want unhealed people. So I understand why you're sitting on my feet and you're asking me about my chest and my feet. I totally get it, because you're not healed. But, like, do you guys really get off on that? Do you? Like, showing up on weird women's feeds and asking them for feet pictures and to show them your boobs? I just want this woman to complain to me all day. Okay. So your fetish is somebody complaining about you. I see. Okay, well then I won't feed that. Okay, we'll just ignore you. I know you like the drama. That's exactly it. You like the attention and you like the drama because you didn't get it as a child. And I know because that's what I was drawn to today. Hi, Katie. How are you? Um, Everybody on this planet has been traumatized in some way, shape, or form. And the internet has given you access to be able to, you know, show your kink and your shame and your trauma in ways that is more accessible than ever, right? So it's truly you feeding into your own traumas and you making your own traumas way worse. And by constantly doing this, you're actually missing out on the life that you're bitter that you don't have. And do you know why I know that? You would rather spend all day doing this because you're bitter you had a shitty childhood. And instead of healing yourself, you will go out and try to make other people feel shitty. So I am an orator. This is what my ancestors did. This is how my ancestors healed people. And if you want to ignore what I'm saying, that's totally fine. You don't need to heal. You don't need to get healthy in this lifetime. And I wish you all the best. Um, and that's fine. But I know you were brought to my feed for a reason, and it's because you're traumatized by your childhood. Somebody did something with feet to you, either sucked on your toes or did something that was inappropriate that now makes you think that that's your kink. And then somebody shamed you about it, so now that's also your kink. And you love to be shamed. And you think it makes you hot and hard, but it's actually your trauma triggering your body into thinking it's joy filled because it doesn't want to feel the pain anymore. So, yeah, you can ignore all of that. You can maybe come back in a couple years when you're ready to heal, and then you can hear my truth. And maybe this is just the first time anybody's ever said any of this to you, and it just opens a door, a portal, and that's what I did, right? Um, and that's, if you're ready to see that, you're ready to see that. If you're not, you're not. That's totally, it doesn't affect me at all. It doesn't affect, like, whether any of you actually heal from what I'm saying. It doesn't really matter. I just have to say what I need to say. And then the world is a better place. And whether you believe it or not, it doesn't matter because this is healing me. By doing this, I'm healing myself. By sharing my wisdom, I'm healing myself, I'm healing my family, and I'm healing my community. By sharing wisdoms of ancient ways to heal, of sharing modern ways to heal, and sharing my ways to heal will potentially heal others. It's the reason why we sat around fires. It's why I heal around a fire with my community. So tonight, when I have, a bunch of people out in my backyard, um, and we're healing together, I know that I've done what I've been brought here to do. And I know that that's my job. And the coyotes are helping me see the truth because that's when this all started last December 21st. And all of this information came through. And my ravens showed up and my crows started speaking the truth to me. and my trees started whispering. And I told the web that I was ready to do this work. My stick is not the god, dude. It's so sad that some of you can't see it. It's really sad. These things are just portals. These things are just things that lead to other things. It's about when you connect this to all of the other truths in my life. Yeah, all hail the stick. This is a 100-year-old cedar healing stick from Six Nations Reserve. Yeah, I'll heal this stick. And I'm going to take it back to Six Nations and I'm going to heal the wound that was broken when this was taken. So yeah, all hail the stick. Because this needs to go back to its home. This needs to go back to its ancestors. And that's what we need to do with all of these. Take it back. I didn't find this on the forest floor. This was given to me by a wise woman that was given it by an Indigenous healer. And I'm going to bring this back to the Indigenous community. When you see the truth, you'll get it. It's okay you don't get it now. And you may never see it. That's the one piece that I've finally realized, is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if anybody sees this. It doesn't matter if anybody hears my truth. It's why I'm doing these lives, and I'm not like pushing any marketing, or it's like, if you end up on my live, you're supposed to be here. I'm not doing any marketing. I'm offering a free course for free. Yeah, hey, I've lost my mind if that's the way you see it. If that's the world that you live in, that an Indigenous healer who heals in her ancestral traditions, this is how my ancestors healed. If you look at me and you see crazy, okay, that's okay. Did you know that modern medicine has only been around for like 150 years, 200 years? And that we didn't actually know how to wash our hands? And that's why so many women died in childbirth, because doctors weren't washing their fucking hands between operations? Oh, but the white man knows so much about medicine. Okay. Do you see what's happening in North America right now? Do you see what's happening in North America? Everybody's addicted to medications. Everybody's addicted to pills. Sure, that's a healthy way of living. Participating in medication that is maybe slightly derived from medicine. Oh, okay. Yeah, you got some real deep healing to do there. Hey, I got friends that are like Formula One NASCAR people. I understand you. I get it. It's just me, you, and the stick. Hey, that's probably who it was meant to be from the beginning. You're the most wounded in this conversation, so I'll just sit here with you while we have a chat. I'm fine with that. I'm not offended. All hail the stick, man. All hail the stick. No, I seriously, I know this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to sit with people that don't understand it. I'm supposed to sit with people that don't necessarily see the truth that I see, and then maybe one day you will, and you'll remember that crazy woman that sat and talked to you for about half an hour on YouTube. You're supposed to throw the stick and your dog brings it back healed. Yeah, I've done that. Playing is part of it. Canada is wild. I didn't always love it here. I'll be honest with you. And there are parts of Canada, it's not too cold up here. It used to be really, really cold up here. It's not cold up here anymore. So that's a big fib. We used to have 8 cords of wood a winter. And this year we got 2 cords. And we're probably not going to need even that, which is really sad. That means our winters are getting warmer and warmer and warmer. And our summers are getting hotter and hotter. Like right now we're going through, we're going through an Indian summer. So it's, we're almost into October, and we just got this like push, you're just trying everything, huh? You're cute. You really, this is the thing you need to learn. If somebody is regulated, if somebody's actually like at peace with themselves, none of that will dysregulate you. None of that will make you angry. Like, hey man, that's your opinion. That's cool. I'm sure that helps you. I'm sure that really helps you in your life. If it's working for you, it works for you. I mean, your life isn't affecting mine. I mean, in some ways it is. I love that you're trying all of these. You're so funny. Do these work? Do you have these, like, do you copy and paste them? Is that what you do? You have a list of insults copied and pasted into your sideboard? It's kind of funny. I kind of love this. No, I type fast. Aww. So you're really wasting your time with me. Like, do you have a job? Like, what do you actually do in the world? Because this is actually my job. The stick helps me think about them. Oh, you're getting paid to do this. Oh, you're getting paid to troll. Is that your actual job? Good for you. If you've made this into a job, trolling, that's divergent thinking, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, what drink is this? It's actually this. I really like it. It's on, actually, if you go, I don't have it on the bottom of this video, but this, it's got electrolytes, and it's got collagen, and it's got, oh, magnesium in it. It's really good. It's on my Amazon list. I need it because my joints are so tight, and because I'm autistic, we have this thing called hypermobility, and it really makes our joints super tight. So if I don't have that, I actually, like, I feel horrible. Yeah, the stick does speak, dude. No, I want to ask you more about getting paid to troll. So, like, how does that work? Do they, like, give you, like, okay, today you have to troll, like, 30 people? Let the stick talk a while. I feel like you're stepping on the stick's time. Okay. No, like, I'm really interested in you. Like, tell me how this works for you, and how you get paid. Because, like, Jesus, that's, I mean, if you're a dick and you can get paid for it, that's kind of awesome. Like, way to hack the system. You're not in the Matrix anymore, kiddo. And pray tell, what do you get paid an hour to be a troll? I'd really love to know. Get paid to do, what's OF? Women get paid to, oh, is that OnlyFans? Yo, vaping is not hippie, bro. Well, when it's my medicine, so this one here, Box Hot, this has CBN in it. So I can smoke a whole joint of CBN, but I don't need a whole joint of CBN. I need a whole joint of CBD. Let's have one. I'll do a little cannabis education. This is another thing. Like, my trauma kept me from feeling safe. And cannabis has been the only thing that relaxed my brain enough so I could actually understand all of this, because I was just in fight or flight my whole entire life. And I had tried to use cannabis before this way, but I didn't know enough about cannabis. I didn't know enough about the strains. So when I had enough time during COVID, homegirl gets high and then starts dancing with the stick. That's a possibility. It's a possibility. Bipolar disorder. I will tell you, are you divergent, Mike? Because I will tell you, when I become severely dysregulated, what's OBCD? I don't know what that one is. Is that like a cock joke? Probably. Just so you know, that stuff doesn't really mess with me. You're talking to somebody that was traumatized sexually. Like, yeah, no, obesity, you can go back. I was like almost 300 pounds at one point. That was my trauma trying to keep me safe, by the way. So yeah, I've been called everything. I've been fat, I've been stupid, I've been an asshole, a bitch, a cunt. I've been called everything. I don't even know what that is. OBCD. So here's the thing. When you heal from your trauma, there's like literally nothing that can rattle you. I know. Well, that's the thing. You're not getting anything from this because I'm not feeding into your trauma. And you're throwing, it's why your name is Temper Tantrum. Because when you don't get what you want, you throw, Mike, you've been in fight or flight for a while. Yeah. No, I will tell you, my pain levels were ridiculous when I first started healing my trauma. And it was unbelievable. They thought I had bipolar disorder. And I got diagnosed with bipolar disorder until I realized I had autism. And then when you realize you have autism, your body is creating these, they're called neuro crashes. And they feel like a bipolar, like a hypermanic, and then a crash. And your personality, oh, my kid's sick today. I'm getting like texts from him from the bed saying, oh. So your personality can be like, my husband this week, because I'm in a good mood, is afraid that I'm manic. And because I'm not going off the rails and I'm not panicking, my husband is really unsettled, which is hilarious because I'm feeling more stable than I've ever felt, but my husband is feeling unstable because it's not normal for me to be stable. So then when you start to heal, you have to navigate all of these pieces. And I've been triggered a lot this week because my husband is questioning whether I'm stable because I seem overconfidently stable. So he's questioning, but I'm doing all of this with a psychologist's support. I'm doing all of this with medication. I'm doing all of this with my chosen medicines. And I'm healing in ways that I never thought possible. And I keep saying that, but it's like, I didn't know my brain had access to all of this information. I didn't know that once I was regulated and once I actually took care of my body, and which reminds me, I have to work out today. I need to do that today. And I want to share this with people. And the people that are showing up for me are very unhealed people. And I'm starting to realize now that that is why I had so many unhealed people. Because I want to heal people, right? So I have spent the last decade learning how to navigate unhealed people. And I have lost a lot of clients. I have lost a lot of friends because I would always sit like this and say, da 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 da, here's the truth. People don't like the truth. The bully in here, the temper tantrum, doesn't like it when I'm nice to them because they want to be bullied. And it's confusing. It's probably creating some sort of what push me pull you effect where you want to be here, you want to sit with me, but you don't want to heal, but you want to be a pervert, but you want to do your job, but you don't want to. And there's all this push me pull you. And what we have to do is we have to let the ego get out of it. And I had to have a really deep ego death. I had to give up everything I thought I knew. I had to give up everything that I thought I learned and knew and was the truth. And I had to just start over again because I'm neurodivergent and I'm living with severe childhood and medical trauma. And if I didn't focus on myself, and if I didn't heal myself first, I was never going to get out of the loop of re-traumatizing myself and calling in people that want to traumatize me. And the amazing thing is, those people are still in my space. I have a bunch of people right now that are doing things that, previously I would have gone, dude, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? And now I can just see that this is an opportunity for me to act completely different, for me to not take offense to it, and for me to go, oh, I see what you're doing. You're creating a situation where I'm being tested, and you're going to see how I react, and you're doing it unconsciously. That's the part that I've pulled back so far that I can see all the little threads, and I can go, wow, I totally see how we got here. And I totally allowed that to happen. I made space for that to happen. So it's amazing to me that when I sit back and when I reflect and when I do my journaling, because that's what I do after I go into the woods and I sit with the coyotes and I hear their messages because they sat me down by a tree that I haven't sat with for a really long time. And I sat in a spot that I've sat many times before, and I saw a gooseberry plant, which is about healing, and I saw a motherwort, which is about mothering yourself. And in that moment, I heard that our forest right now needs mothering, and it needs healing. And if we focus on those things, no, I'm not a dumbass. I actually know the coyotes on my property would kill me if I went and sat with them. I'm not that idiotic. I actually talk to the coyotes, so I know. But there are ways to keep them at bay, and I know how to do that. So anywho, I love this way of living when you see the truth reflected back to you in nature, and you see how when you get really quiet and you listen to yourself and you see what's reflected in the environment around you, no matter where you live. You don't have to live in a forest. But when you see the truth that is being projected at you all the time, and you realize that you don't have to interact with it at all, that these are just little tests that are being brought towards us, so we can go, yeah, I don't need that in my life right now. And you set boundaries and you go, no, I don't have time or space for that. That's not for me right now. And you do that more and more, and you make more room for yourself. So you have time to go and sit in the forest with the coyotes and the trees. So then you're not stretched so thin that all you have is time to work. When you slow down and realize that you don't need all the things that you think you need, and you can be completely and utterly happy without all the things, and then you learn exactly what you need, and you just start asking for those things. So here's the piece. You don't need a ton of views. You don't need all of these things that we think we need. For me, my indigenous truth is I just need to share my story. And it doesn't matter how many people hear it. It doesn't matter how many likes it gets. It doesn't matter how many people throw a temper tantrum on my feed. It doesn't matter. Nobody writes a book because they think that every single person on the planet is going to read it. Nobody records a video because they think everybody on the planet is going to hear it. Nobody does that. We just need to put our truth into the world. Mine is forest whispering. It's how I see all of these things and how I connect all the messages. It's not going to work for everybody. It's not. But for some people it will. And those people are going to end up on my feed. And those people will watch the video to the end and know that you can go to thewildhealing.com and you can learn all these things. From my community, all hail the stick. An armed temper tantrum, you were brought here for a reason. I know why you were on my feed today. It was to test my resolve. Am I truly in my body? Am I in a place where I can be faced? You pretty much heckled me from the moment I got on here until, I'll be done in a couple of minutes. Well done. Like, I'm sure you feel really good about that. And I learned something from it. And this is what you have to realize, is every situation is an opportunity for learning. Every situation is an opportunity to teach what you have learned in the world. And if we actually sit down and think about what our wisdom and our true knowledge is, and then we start sharing that with the world just gets better one person at a time. It always has. That's how it works. I don't need for this particular video to reach 50,000 people. I need it to reach one person. I needed to reach one person that needed to hear this truth, that needed to hear that coyotes are healers in the liminal space between the city and the country. Somebody needed to hear that. Somebody needed to learn about this book, You Are the Medicine. Somebody needed something. I don't know if you know how this works, but people don't just view this when it's live. You do know that's how it works, right? People are weird. Like, do you think you know how the world works better than everybody else? That's a phenomenal Your ego must be so friggin' huge. That's amazing. Yeah, I'm a mystery. I know I'm a fucking mystery, man. It's wild. All of this is a mystery. Life is a mystery. Let it be a fucking mystery. Why does any one person have to have the answers? I don't have all the answers. I don't know you from a friggin' hole in the wall. None of this may make sense to you. I don't even know why you're on my friggin' feed, but one day we'll know. One day we'll know. I'm sure we will. And Temper Tantrum will come forward because he'll be like, I knew her when she was just rambling at one person. That's what's going to happen. Okay, I'll start an OnlyFans just for you, Armor Temper Tantrum. I'm going to change the way that I live because you decided that that's what I should do today. That's amazing. It's amazing. I just love the way people think. It just totally fascinates me. You seriously fascinate me. I honestly, I think I love the internet and YouTube and this ability to converse with people on the internet so much because I'm fascinated by humanity. And I truly do see myself separate from humanity. I'm not your typical human being. I'm autistic. I naturally have DMT in my brain. So when I do these things, it actually pushes me into a heightened state of DMT wonderfulness. And I am higher than a fucking kite in a normal brain. But my autistic brain needs this to slow it down so I can access everything in my brain, because when I'm going at that super hyper speed of ADHD that my body likes to be in all the time, if I slow down, I can actually access all of the information in my brain. Yeah, I totally get zoomies. In high school, I used to get zoomies. Do you guys remember there were these little tiny cars and they were called micro machines, and you would put your finger on them and you would like play with them that way? I was 16 and I still had those, and I would put them on my fingers and I would run up and down the hallway in high school. I'm 48, dude. 46 years ago. I'm not gonna hide how old I am. I'm turning 49 next year. I'm gonna be 50 in 2 years. That's a big one. But I'm like actually super excited about it because I'm actually using my full brain now, which is kind of nice. But anyway, I'm gonna say later because I got a sick dog. Not dog. I got a sick kid I gotta go take care of. Bye for now, wildlings. Have a wonderful day.